Hey everybody, and welcome to the Saul Malmstein show. This is the second installment of our series that we're doing on YouTube. Had some really good news in the studio this week, and I'd like to share it with the viewers because most every time this is always good news, but I've received the uranium-235 that I purchased off the black market. I'm going to show that to you right now. I'm going to show you what this uranium looks like. I'm going to take it out of here. I've got to put this special glove on because you don't want to get this stuff on your hand. Trust me, when uranium, that, my friends, is enough uranium to power this home for the next 250 years. If I so choose, I could also sell power to this entire city for about 50 years. So the second part of the good news tonight is the fact that I have stolen a satellite. With some help of the gentleman in the studio, we have hijacked the SunTrust Bank corporate satellite. It is now under our complete control. And with this information, I'm going to be able to show you the card trick that I wanted to show you last week. This satellite's amazing. We've been looking at it all day. Not only SunTrust Bank, but I've got financial information to about 150 million people across America in various banks all over the country. This is a huge, monumental task for the show. The card trick I want to show you, because you have a lot of programs and different people on the internet that may promise get-rich-quick schemes, etc. I'm not going to say how much money you can make. Of course, the central theme of this program is called hard cash. Capitalist nation that we live in. What else are you going to talk about, right? So, the card trick, if you can master this trick, I'd put it to you this way. I don't know if you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow, but certainly by Friday, you should have $1 million in the bank if you master this card trick. So, you've never seen anything like this in your whole life, I guarantee you. It's a basic pick a card kind of thing. I'm going to have it displayed to you as if the audience, you yourself, are my friend playing cards, and I've just come, you can get one of your friends, just get someone from the bar. I don't know where you're going to find somebody. Who knows? Pick a card. Pick any card. Let's say you're going to pick this card right here. Okay, so put the deck back. You can show the guy's card, and then you stick the card down here somewhere. The details of the trick, as you'll see in the final part of this, don't really matter. It's a fascinating card trick. So, also, I do want to make you aware, in case you haven't procured your calculator watch, if we're going to need this for this card trick, if you've got a smart watch. Okay, so 3 pieces of information that you need are the person's full name, their address, and their date of birth. So we're going to do that by using the card trick. Say, okay, my friend, what is your full name? And the guy may say something like John Henry Walker. Okay, so John has 4 letters, Walker has 6 letters, and Henry has 5 letters. There's 15. So you count out 15 cards, and when you get to the 15th card, you flip it over, you show it to, you have to show it to, you put it down here, like you're doing a real card trick. Okay, so the second part, she's going to say, what is your date of birth? And so the guy says, my date of birth is February 25th, 1988. Say, okay. You can say second month of the year, 25th day, is 23. Subtract the year from the day, and 23 minus 85 is, somebody help me with the math, 60 something. The numbers don't really matter. Anyway, 63 minus 19. Okay, that gives you like 42 divided by 2. So let's say it's 21 cards, just for the heck of it. Okay, so count out 21 cards. When you get to the 21st card, flip it over just like you did the other one. Yeah. Yeah, put the card back. Then say, what is your street address? Okay. We're going to assume we know the city that we're living in. You'd be at the local pub, whatnot. So, it says it's 237 Hill Street. So 2 plus 3 plus 7 is 12. Hill Street has 4 letters, minus 4 is 8. And street has 5 letters, minus 8 is 3. So we count 3 cards. You don't want to get too many cards, so you don't have any cards left in the deck. But it doesn't matter. Nothing in this card trick matters whatsoever. You can do the math any way you want to. You come up with any card, and it just absolutely 100% doesn't matter. Third card is this one right here. So now you put your deck back down. You're magically going to find this guy's card. And the trick is that you've never seen this in your entire life. So your trick's going to blow your freaking mind, I promise you. You did a couple of calculations I have to do in my calculator watch, which is directly tied, by the way, to the satellite dish that I ripped off this afternoon to SunTrust Bay. And not only that, we're going to have to get on the smartphone. I was telling you guys last time, keep your smartphone around. Whether it's smart or not, keep it around because you're going to have to get in touch with people. So, after a few calculations, and I'm going to make a phone call here, pretend phone call to my friend at the real estate agency who I have on speed dial. Hey, John, this is Saul. Yes, 237 Hill Street, Washington, D.C., 30607, house for sale, foreclosure. I'd like to run that in tomorrow's newspaper, and let's run it for 30 days. Thank you very much. So you can tell your person that you did your card trick, thank you for playing your card trick. Your house has just been foreclosed on. And he's probably going to laugh because he assumes that you're kidding. And I tell you, a couple of times I've had some guys get kind of violent. But then again, you say, hey, thanks for playing. So you've just foreclosed on the property. And you've taken ownership of this gentleman's house. You may say something like, you may want to call the wife and kids. You need to pack your bags because they're not going to have anywhere to live as of tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And some people can get kind of pissed off. I don't know. And they may think you're kidding, but they're not going to think you're kidding when you tell them the second part of the trick. The second part of the trick is you have to inform them that all their bank accounts and credit cards have just been frozen. But you can also offer a friendly gesture. Say, hey, let me buy your drinks tonight, because you're not going to be able to use your debit card or any of your credit cards. Like I said, all your accounts have been frozen. Now, something I've learned I wanted to pass on to the watchers of the show is that you might want to get a lawyer. It might be a good idea. I've got several attorneys, I contact on a daily basis for various things, but it's going to be good to have a lawyer. You're going to want an attorney if you're going to perform some of the things on this show. And like we talked about last week, the surveillance camera is very important. Keep surveillance with what you're doing, because you may need it if you have to go. Well, who knows? I don't want to bring a damper down on the card trick, but if you can accomplish a card trick about 6 times a week, It's about $1 million a week so far is what I've been able to present. I don't make you any promises. It just depends on what kind of property or where you're hanging out. So if someone chooses to possibly get violent, I'm going to also, if you write the show, I'm going to give you a web link to the satellite. If you'd like to have access to the satellite dish Sun Trust Company Bank, they're probably looking for me right now. They can't find me. I'm living in a hole with a lot of uranium. No one can find me. So, write the show. I'd be glad to pass that. I'm going to need to pass that information on to you so you can perform the card trick at home or in a bar, wherever you want to perform the trick. Something else I want to show you, if you happen to get an angry customer, this item right here, disguised as a small guitar amplifier, is a nuclear powered 110 kilohertz low frequency cardiac defibrillator. Yeah, I can repeat that quickly or slowly. Basically, if you're familiar with U.S. military endeavors in low frequency weapons, you'll be familiar with this. And if you have to use it, cut it on. Yes, everybody within a mile is going to flatline in about 5 minutes. And more immediately, they're probably going to have some confusion reactions. They could fall into the floor, etc., but they won't be able to get to you. You're going to want to stand behind this thing when you turn it on, because you don't want to give yourself a heart attack. That goes without saying, of course. Okay, so, and I'm going to teach you guys, like I said in the last show, everybody start getting, memory chips, hard drives, different various memory components, because we're going to build a supercomputer. I'm going to show you, and this makes your information, especially if you want to rip off your own satellite, I'm going to teach you how to build a computer that you can have your own. Think of a satellite you'd like to have. And for next time on the show, when you can write the show. But speaking of writing the show, I did get a email from a guy in West Virginia who coincidentally has discovered a way to create nuclear fission in his basement. Now, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, people. This is the kind of stuff we want to hear about. This guy is fascinating. We sat and talked for hours. And he's just a junk pile. And he lives in a junk pile, and he's created a nuclear fission device. Unbelievable. So, hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed the card trick. We'll be looking forward to seeing you next time in the Saul Malmstein show. I tell your friends and family to tune in, and we'll see you next time.